The teenage girl who saved America. The rain was coming down hard, the kind of rain that soaked through your clothes, into your bones, and made you question every life decision that led you to this moment. Lightning flashed in the distance, illuminating the muddy roads, the twisted tree branches, and, most importantly, the girl on horseback, riding like the devil himself, was chasing her. She was freezing cold, completely drenched, and downright exhausted, but she could not stop, because stopping meant people were going to die. She kicked her horse again, urging it forward, through the darkness, through the storm, through the 28 long, grueling miles she had to cover before morning. This was a life or death situation. She had one job: wake up every single militia member in the county before the British reached their town. And if you're thinking, oh, this sounds familiar, let me stop you right there. Because this wasn't Paul Revere. Paul Revere rode half this distance with 2 other guys. This shit was next-level savagery. This was a 16-year-old girl, alone, in the middle of the night, in the middle of a war. Her name was Sybil Ludington. And if you don't know her name, it's because history books were written by dudes who clearly had favorites. Now please, allow me to take a minute to set the table for you fine folks. It's April 26th, 1777. The American Revolution is in full swing, and the British are burning towns to the ground like the BLM riots on steroids. One of their targets? Danbury, Connecticut. Now, Danbury was no ordinary town. It was a major supply hub for the rebels. So if the British took it out, it would be a major blow to the Patriots. Luckily, one guy saw it coming. A messenger rode in and told Colonel Henry Ludington, commander of the local militia, that Danbury was under attack. One problem: the militia? They were scattered all over the county. And this is the 1700s, people. No phones, no text messages, no "yo, we need backup" group chat. Someone had to physically ride out into the storm, knock on doors, wake people up, and tell them to grab their guns and haul ass to Danbury. And that's when Sybil Ludington stepped up. Not a soldier, not a grown man, a teenage girl. Picture this: it's pitch black. There are no street lights, no paved roads, just mud, forests, and whatever the hell lurks in the dark. The rain is relentless. She's riding through enemy territory. At any moment she could run into British soldiers, loyalists, bandits, wild animals, or just some drunk farmer who's desperate and lonely. And yet she doesn't hesitate. She rides, house to house, door to door, pounding on doors, screaming at men to get their rifles and move out. She doesn't have a famous quote, but I picture this badass young lady barking at these grisly grown-ass men, waking them from their sleep and marching them off to war like a fierce drill sergeant. And this savage sweetheart rode her horse 28 goddamn miles. That's twice the distance Paul Revere rode. Twice the distance, and she was a child. And here's the part that puts a smile on my face. She wasn't sending them men off to fight alone. When she finally got back home, after riding through hell and back, she didn't collapse. She didn't cry. She didn't demand a parade. Number. She grabbed a musket and rode right back out with the militia. By the time the militia reached Danbury, the town was already on fire. But Sybil's warning, it meant hundreds of men were there to fight. They pushed back the British, forcing them into retreat and saving whatever was left of the supplies. Without Sybil, that wouldn't have happened, and yet you never hear about her. Why? Because history books love Paul Revere. Now don't get me wrong, Revere was a legit badass, but if we're being real here, his ride can't compare to hers. He had backup, Sybil had none. She was alone, in the dead of night, in the middle of a bloody, raging war. Now let's talk about you. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you got too much on your plate. Maybe life's been punching you in the face, and you're wondering if you should just tap out. Well, let me remind you of something. Sybil Ludington was 16 years old. What were you doing at 16, huh? Well, this bad bitch rode 28 miles through a nasty storm, in the dark, risking her life, to warn people who didn't even know she was coming. And she didn't stop. She didn't quit. She only retreated to regroup, grab her strap, and then she returned to the task at hand. She did what needed to be done. So what the hell is stopping you? What's your excuse? You're tired? She rode all night. You're scared? She faced enemy soldiers with nothing but a horse in her loud mouth. You're too young? She was a damn teenager. You're too old? The militia were just random dudes of all ages willing to fight against the world's most powerful army. So suck it up, get moving. Because if Sybil Ludington could change the course of a battle with sheer determination and willpower, then so can you. You can handle whatever the hell this punk bitch Monday's gonna throw at you. Chin up, knuckles up, and smile. And God bless America. And that, my friends, is your Monday morning motivation.